There was a stretch there, and you guys were so hot with the 36 points in the quarter there, and you're just running up and down the court. Was it as much fun as it looked like to people watching it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Misses spend years trying to achieve, and the Fever did it on a casual Tuesday night. But the truly unsettling part came when the architect of that beautiful offense, Caitlin Clark, was asked about her performance. After orchestrating the entire attack with 13 assists and hitting a deep three to get things started, she still wasn't satisfied. "I still probably didn't shoot it as good as I would have liked," she said, with the deadpan seriousness of someone who genuinely believed it. Let that sink in. This is the terrifying mindset of a true predator. In the middle of a historic team performance, her mind was fixated on the minor imperfection. This isn't humility. It's a symptom of a raging obsession with greatness that should terrify every opponent she has yet to face. It signals that even this dominant version of her is not her final form.
Going up against one another in the WNBA. It is also only Caitlin Clark's third game back from injury, and this season for the Indiana Fever has been a roller coaster ride. There has been ups, there has been downs, there has been times that we have been so confused on what is actually going on with this team. And I'll start off by saying I feel like this was one of their best games as far as playing Fever basketball.
While Clark was busy critiquing her own near-perfect game, Aliyah Boston was engaged in her own form of subtle deception. When a reporter pointed out the obvious, that she looked significantly stronger and faster this year, Boston simply shrugged it off. "No, I don't think so," she said, before casually mentioning she had to prepare to run with the sprinter over here, referring to Clark. But this wasn't just modesty, this was the erasure of a painful narrative. You have to remember how this season started. The whispers were everywhere that Boston was being frozen out, that the former Rookie of the Year was becoming a forgotten star in the all-consuming orbit of the Caitlin Clark show. Her explosive return to form isn't just about getting in shape, it's a quiet but powerful statement. By downplaying her incredible physical transformation, she's making her dominance seem effortless, as if this was always who she was. She has methodically and forcefully reasserted herself, not as Clark's sidekick, but as an equally terrifying force at the heart of the Fever's attack.
Caitlin, I believe you hit the first shot you took today, kind of deep sigh of relief, but what is it like to get out of the shooting slump, but also beyond that, just see the playmaking overall from you down the line so you threw out your entire team, 30 assists tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I still probably didn't shoot it as good as I would have liked, but I feel like it's coming. I'm just trying to continue to get my legs under me, and like I said pregame, like I feel like I'm a couple shots away from like having a really good game. So
perhaps the most revealing moment of the night was about defense. Clark tied her career high with 5 steals, a stunning display of defensive prowess from a player constantly criticized for that side of her game. Her explanation was a bombshell disguised as a confession. "I can be a really good defender when I choose to," she admitted, "and when I don't try to conserve energy." Think about what that really means. She openly stated that she sometimes coasts on defense, but this isn't an admission of weakness. It's a direct response to the brutal welcome to the league moments she was forced to endure as a rookie. After being targeted, hip-checked, and physically manhandled on the court, she didn't just get angry, she got smarter. Those 5 steals weren't just random acts of defense, they were surgical strikes. She has learned that the ultimate form of payback isn't a cheap shot, it's ripping the ball from your opponent's hands and turning it into 2 points at the other end. She is weaponizing her defense, and she's finally choosing her moments to unleash it.
Like having a really good game. So, but I mean, I thought my playmaking was really good. There was, I mean, no reason for me to really shoot that much. I thought, like, you look at the box, like 12 shot attempts, 11, 9, 8, 7, 6, like just very balanced. And, you know, people executed. And when we have, you know, 5 people in double figures, like, I feel like we're going to be pretty hard to beat. Like, it would take a lot for a team to beat us. And I think we were just kind of firing on all cylinders, moving the ball well, getting to the next action, played out a pick and roll well, and then
there was the topic of Paige Buchers. To the casual viewer, the Fever's comments about the rookie phenom sounded like standard professional respect. But for anyone who has followed their careers, this was a loaded exchange. Clark and Buchers have a history, a fierce rivalry forged in the fire of legendary NCAA NCAA tournament showdowns. They are the two defining players of their generation, locked in a silent battle for supremacy that started long before they reached the pros. So when Clark and Boston offer measured praise, it's not just sportsmanship, it's a calculated move on the chessboard. They are acknowledging Buchers as a legitimate threat while simultaneously positioning themselves as the established power she is still chasing. It's a subtle way of saying, we see you, but you're still looking up at us. It's the kind of sophisticated mind game played by those who are not only confident in their ability, but in their status at the top of the food chain.
Kind of Aaliyah, off that point, where have you seen, especially the second half of the last game, going into such a strong first half tonight, and then you're able to keep your foot on the gas? Where do you feel like the biggest change, or I guess change, has been to really be so dominant and consistent offensively as a group?
Honestly, I think it starts on the defensive end. We talk about that all the time, just making sure that we get stops because we like to play fast. We like to get the ball up and go in transition. And so we knew that we just had to make sure that we were focused on that end and make sure that we're connected on the defensive end. And then that sparks our offense and we're good to go.
This level of coordinated excellence, both on the court and in the press room, doesn't happen by accident. It points to a meticulously crafted system put in place by head coach Christy Sides. The team's mantra of giving up a good shot for a great shot is now a tangible, devastating reality. What's even more impressive is that this telepathic chemistry has been forged with almost no real practice time together as a full, healthy roster. This suggests that the collective basketball IQ on the Fever's roster is dangerously high. They are not just running plays, they are reading the game and each other at an elite level. This isn't the scrappy underdog Fever of last year. This is a highly intelligent, cohesive unit that has figured out the formula for winning, and they are now executing it with the ruthless efficiency of a machine. The question is no longer if the system works, but who, if anyone, has the tools to stop it.
You look a lot stronger.
Oh, slay.
You've had a couple strong seasons, but is there some kind of secret sauce to your success right now? I mean, you just look a lot stronger and a lot faster.
No, I don't think so. I think just making sure that I was ready to come in. Obviously, playing with the sprinter over here, she likes to get up and down. I think going into this year, I knew that a lot better than coming into my last year. And so for me, I think I was just prepared and ready to go.
When you put all the pieces together, the post-game interview transforms from a simple Q&A into a masterclass in psychological warfare. You have Clark, the offensive genius, expressing deep dissatisfaction with a dominant win. You have Boston, the reborn titan, casually dismissing her obvious physical evolution. And you have their calculated, almost condescending respect for their biggest rival. Every answer, every phrase was part of a unified front. They are projecting an aura of untouchable confidence, letting the league know that they are not only more skilled, but they are also mentally tougher and smarter. They have moved beyond simply trying to win games. They are now in the business of controlling the narrative and intimidating their opposition before they even step on the court. It was a performance, and the message was clear. We know exactly how good we are, and we know that you can't stop what's coming.
Talk so much about your offense and playmaking and shot making, but defensively, tied your career out with 5 steals tonight. How do you think that first one, though, I think it might have been on page, but just coming across court, you get it, and how do you think that set the tone for the rest of the defense throughout the game?
Yeah, well, I knew my team was ready a trap beat on this sideline, so kind of just made a read. I saw she was going to throw it to her post player and was able to get my hand on it and then got a few deflections out of guard-to-guard switches. So I think just being active, I can be a really good defender when I choose to and when I work really hard on it and not conserve energy. So proud of myself in that regard. And, I think that probably motivates our offense. Like when I bring a tenacity on the defensive end, I think it really helps our offense go. And
everyone is talking about how unselfish this Fever team is, but that's the wrong word for it. Unselfishness implies a soft, generous spirit. What we're seeing is something far more predatory, ruthless efficiency. 30 assists isn't about being nice. It's about a cold, mathematical certainty that the best shot will be found, no matter who has to take it. When Clark says they give up a good shot for a great shot, she's not describing generosity. She's describing a team that processes the game 2 steps ahead of everyone else, making the most logical and devastating choice every single time. This isn't selfless basketball, it's egoless execution. They have suppressed individual glory for the sake of a more brutal collective dominance. They aren't 5 friends sharing the ball, they are 5 assassins who have realized they are more lethal working together.
Caitlin, just 13 assists for you and then 30 assists as an entire team. Just what was working so well with you seeing the floor and just the entire team?
Yeah, 30 assists on 40 made shots is about as good as it's going to get. That's really impressive, and I think it just shows the selflessness of this group. Is you're just trying to find your teammate, trying to get to the next action, trying to give up a good shot for a great shot, and just really proud of this group of how we share the ball, and makes us really hard to guard, like I've said. So that's something that Steph always preaches, and something she always talks about is, how many of our field goals are assisted. So we're always looking for high numbers there, and 30 on 40 made field goals is.
Beneath all the strategy and mind games lies a simple, brutal truth. The Indiana Fever are built to break you. Their conditioning is not just for show, it is a weapon. The pace they play at isn't just a style. It's a deliberate strategy to run opponents into the ground, to drain their legs and shatter their will by the fourth quarter. Boston's admission that she had to get ready for Clark's pace wasn't a joke. It was a confession of a grueling, targeted offseason designed for this very purpose. This physical superiority allows Clark to choose when to expend defensive energy and allows the entire team to maintain relentless pressure while their opponents are gasping for air. They aren't just trying to outscore teams, they are trying to physically dismantle them to make them quit. It's a war of attrition, and the Fever have trained to be the last one standing. For years, the Indiana Fever franchise was defined by struggle. It was a place of roller coaster seasons, inconsistent play, and the heavy weight of losing. But this team doesn't just win games. They act like that history never even happened. There is zero trace of the happy to be here attitude that plagues rising teams. Instead, they carry themselves with the cold arrogance of a dynasty. This is a complete psychological reset. They have purged the losing mentality from the organization's DNA. This confidence isn't just a reaction to a recent hot streak. It's a fundamental shift in identity. They don't hope to win anymore. They expect it, and they expect their opponents to know it too. The dynamic between Clark and Boston isn't just chemistry, it's a symbiotic trap. Each one makes the other exponentially more lethal. Clark's unlimited range acts as a gravitational force, pulling entire defenses out to the perimeter and leaving Boston in single coverage near the basket, a matchup she will win every time. At the same time, Boston's brutal, bone-crushing screens are the key that unlocks Clark, giving her that split second of daylight she needs to either launch a deep three or fire a pass to an open teammate. It's a perfect, self-sustaining engine of destruction. They are a two-headed monster, and defenses are forced into an impossible choice. Get burned from the outside by Clark, or get mauled on the inside by Boston. There is no right answer. The final layer of their psychological dominance came from the coach. When asked about Paige Bucher's, Christy Sides said it's fun to watch her, just not as an opponent on the other sideline. On the surface, it's a compliment, but underneath, it's the ultimate insult. It's the kind of statement you make from a position of absolute, unshakable power. It's the confidence of a team so certain of its own superiority that it can afford to admire the skills of its rivals, because those skills are ultimately irrelevant. It's like a lion admiring the speed of a gazelle just moments before the chase. It's a declaration that no matter how talented an individual opponent might be, they are no match for the system, the conditioning, and the will of the Indiana Fever. It's the final quiet confirmation that they believe they are playing a different game entirely. The Indiana Fever's demolition of the Dallas Wings was more than just a victory. It was the public unveiling of a new identity. They are no longer just a promising young team. They are a ruthless, intelligent, and deeply connected unit with a killer instinct that has been dormant until now. The stats are frightening, but the mindset they revealed after the game is what truly signals a monumental shift in the WNBA's balance of power. The real question is no longer if they can compete. The question is, are we witnessing the birth of the league's next dynasty? Or is this just the most brilliantly executed power play the sport has seen in years? What do you believe is the real story behind their words? Drop your theories in the comments below and subscribe for more analysis that goes beyond the box score.